Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MLH Top 50 announcement, part of Global Hack Week 2022. We are so excited to have you here at this event. Here today, we are going to show you a number of incredible hackers, people who have inspired us throughout the year. And I am so excited to share this with you. I had the great fortune of sitting down with the MLH Top 50 earlier today and getting to know them a little bit more than just their profiles, hearing from them and having conversations with them. And let me tell you, they are all incredible. I am so excited to start showcasing some of their stories with you so that you can have some of that experience that I was able to have this morning and so many of our community members have been able to have throughout their experience with Major League Hacking and the MLH Top 50. So without further ado, let me start and bring you through the MLH. I'm told that you couldn't hear me. Is that better? Okay. So anyways, the MLH Top 50 is a group of I clearly don't do this streaming thing very frequently. Thank you for bearing with me. The MLH Top 50 is a group of hackers who are truly inspirational. They are hackers who absolutely inspire us. They go on to help build the hacker community and the technology community writ large. They are hackers that come from across the world. In fact, they belong to more than 22 different countries this year. They are hackers who help to grow the community, introducing beginners to technology, organizing events themselves, putting on clubs for their communities, and so much more. Without further ado, I want to show you a little short video about some of who these hackers are.
My name is Demir.
I am sorry, folks. Again, we are having some technical difficulties. Uh, thank you for bearing with us here. This is, I promise, not my first time using Twitch ever in my life. Give me just a moment to get you these hackers again. Here we are. Boop. Alrighty, there we are.
My name is Demir.
My name is Baby Lou.
Hi, my name is Dr. John.
Hi, I'm Isna.
I'm from Alabama.
I'm from San Francisco.
I'm from Egypt.
I am a pre-final year undergraduate from Sindhi Institute of Science and Technology
At the University of Warwick.
At UC Santa Cruz.
I've always been a student who's really curious.
Sometime in middle school, I started working on these projects with my friends involved coding.
Before that, I didn't know anything about programming.
I came across a blog post which made suggestions on how to get into open source.
I saw this ad on Facebook that there was this hackathon.
Then I before a friend told me like, hey, do you want to participate? And I say, sure.
I went to She Hacks Boston in 2018.
The first MLH hackathon that I attended was BitCamp.
My first MLH hackathon was Happy Birthday MLH.
I could finally see people that were as passionate about programming as I was.
And in that environment, confidence is built at lightning speed.
It really made me feel like I could belong in the world of tech.
We won the Best All Girls Team Award.
I was able to collaborate with people from across the world.
I was able to learn so much from each and every single one of them.
I've been to over 40 hackathons.
I now spend my time giving back to the community as a mentor, a judge, a coach.
I moved from attendee to a speaker and mentor.
I decided to continue my journey as a hackathon organizer.
I organized many events, boot camps, meetups.
Specifically was inspired to host gender-focused hackathons.
We created a community called Command Tech for girls in technology and non-binary in technology.
I decided to join the MLH organization and to work on the admissions team.
Now my internship at Disney, where I'm working with emerging technology.
I hope to continue expanding our impact in creating welcoming spaces for women.
It makes me really happy when someone tells me that a video of mine inspired them to build something really cool.
I was really real about exploring and diving into the intersection of CS and social good.
As long as I'm helping some woman achieve their own dreams, that's all that matters to me.
When we work together, we can accomplish things that would never have been possible on our own.
Through technology, you can create innovative solutions that can really tackle some of the biggest problems that exist in our world today.
We can change the world for the better.
I am
I am officially tracking
Top 50.
It is banned.
That is an incredible group of people. And I hope through that very short video, you got to have some indication of what a powerful group of hackers the MLH Top 50 is this year. I want to share a little bit more with you about their stories and about who they are. First, let's talk a little bit about some of the places that they got their starts. Many of the top 50 hackers this year got their starts at Global Hack Week, this event happening right now in previous iterations. For example, Monique Reed, at this event last year, this very one, Global Hack Week in NIT, she started hacking and today is an MLH Top 50 recipient. Amir Tamar had found Global Hack Week on a snowy Midwestern day and went on to become a fellow and so much more. Adam Drummond helped found Blahaj Gang. If you've been a part of Global Hack Week, you know Blahaj Gang. They are all over the place and so incredible. And in fact, helped to create the opportunity for Ashwin Kumar Uppala, who is a top 50 hacker as well. He has gone on to do so many things, including leading many communities of his own. I wanted to share even a little bit more about Ashwin and his story and let him talk about it himself.
I spent a lot of time figuring out technology on my own, but it wasn't until I joined communities my love for technology actually evolved. My name is Ashwin Kumar Uppala. I am a pre-final year engineering student from Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology, Hyderabad, India. I used to think coding is all about smashing keyboards all day, writing on green screens. Then I did this course by Harvard called CS50, and that's when I realized that coding is problem solving, which I really like. My first hackathon was quite unexpected. It was called Global Hack Week Share. The post said, join us, you'll get swags. I wanted stickers. I had no idea what is hacking. I followed along, made a very silly submission of Quicksort program because that is the only thing I knew. To my surprise, I got an email saying that, hey, thank you for submission. You'll get a sticker from us. Now that was the turning point when I realized that even though I have no idea about the hacking space, I was still welcome. After that, I found amazing people in the Major League Hacking community, and outside of it, I joined EdiHub. I learned about open source inclusivity and diversity. I joined Hack this fall. I participated in over 57 global hackathons. I won over 12 hackathons in the past 13 months. Now that I have earned so much and learned so much, I want beginners to get started. How can I help others get started? So that is when I started my own student-run, beginner-friendly, diverse community called Hack Club Hyderabad. Every member of Hyderabad is extremely passionate about tech. They may be extremely beginners or veterans. We have seen people of various underrepresented backgrounds join our community, non-binary folks, and quite a lot of 40% ratio of women in the core team. In the end, I joined all these communities for the swags, for the incentives, but I stayed for the community because of the wonderful people and the amazing welcoming nature, inclusive and diverse environment that all of them have.
Incredible. We have so many other hackers in their stories as well. And in the MLH Top 50, while there are a number of themes, every single story is unique. And so let me take this moment to encourage you to go to top.mlh.io to read every single profile that we put together on these incredible hackers. I want to share with you now a couple high school hackers. We had a number of high school hackers on this list. First, let me introduce you to Toby McDonald, who says hackathons have given him a whole different path to follow in life. And today he's in an internship because of it. Uditi Sharma is a hacker out of Dubai who empowers underrepresented in technology and entrepreneurship all over the world. We also have in the top 50 prolific hackers and prolific hackathoners. These hackathoners go to many, many events and do incredible things at them. For example, Matthew Wong goes to a hackathon literally every other weekend. And Riva Kokar went on a 15 hackathon win streak in the summer of 2021. Kaijun Kim has been to over 50 hackathons. Catherine Regaitis beats him by just a few. She's been to 60, but she just graduated high school. Deblina Chattopadhyay has been to hundreds of events. And Sohil Athere has won MHacks and PenApps as a high school student. The last high school students that I know that won both those events went on to have their company acquired by Apple and now have their software on every single iPhone in the world. So he is on quite the path. Anita Yip has been to almost 100 hackathons, and at each one, she forms a new team, often with complete beginners, to help them learn and help her meet new people. I wanted to share a little bit more about her story with you as well.
And what I find that has shifted in this hackathon journey is wanting to understand not only the what and the how of a project or a challenge or a problem that we want to address, but I want to understand the why and the what. Hello, my name is Anita Yip, and I am currently a student at Western Governors University studying computer science. One of the most important things for me through this hackathon experience is being able to take more risks. Taking more risks meant having a stint where I was seriously competing. Taking more risks also meant teaming up with complete beginners, because when I was a beginner, I remember how frightened I was just to think about coding and creating a project at the end and still having that whole hackathon experience. Taking risks meant for me to experiment with new technologies. So if I hadn't, used certain APIs before, let's find a way to do something with that API that could be useful, whether that's using different technologies and then figuring out how do we piece it together. That's all part of the experience for me. So I think being able to take more risks is something that I really appreciate from working on these projects through hackathons. Right after high school, I matriculated at Wellesley College, where I majored in environmental studies and media arts and sciences. I worked in finance technology for a while and got a little burnt out. Someone asked if I wanted to do a year of service with AmeriCorps. Through AmeriCorps, I got my master's degree in communications at Northeastern University. I've had kind of a winding experience to get to my current job in healthcare technology, and I decided, why not apply to a program and go back into computer science to see if it's something that I really want to do, because data science is a hot topic now, but even just knowing how to code and build is just an asset. It's just something that everyone should at least have a gander at and see if it's right for them.
Anita is just one of the incredible hackers who helps to build the hacker community in all sorts of ways. I want to share a number of hackers who use their platforms and networks to help build the hacker communities as well. First, I want to introduce you to Zainab Fahim, who says that she wants to become even more credible than just an MLH Top 50 recipient, so that she can share this joy with so many other young women who believe their life is limited to raising a family. She says, sadly overlooking that they can reach into their life and bring more purpose. Grace Gong showcases opportunities for people in technology using her TikTok. She's definitely worth a follow. And Skylar Bosco, well, she's got a YouTube channel where she shares really fun takes on hacking. If you want to watch somebody build a website for their dog while eating hot wings like hot ones, Skylar's channel is the place to go. Like and follow for more. And Stefan Alexic is a longtime MLH community member. After helping found BrickHack in 2014 and becoming an the MLH Rookie of the Year, has gone on to found his own company. And he's back sponsoring hackathons today to help other hackers have the incredible experiences that he did that led him to found not one, but 2 companies out of the hackathon community. And our hackers are so incredible. They study so many things beyond CS as well. Well, there's a lot of people here in the MLH community who study computer science. Many do not. For example, Aziz Abdullav is an environmental science and public policy major, and he wins a prize at almost every hackathon he goes to. Sarah Fluck majored in English, philosophy, and has now contributed to Hermes, which is an engine that runs React Native. I promise it's on probably every single one of your phones. Now, we also have a lot of people who've organized hackathons, and that's not uncommon. In fact, we have research that proves, or that at least shows, that if you attend about more than 9 hackathons in a year, there's a pretty high likelihood that you're so excited about them that you go on to organize your own. Like, for example, Akanksha Singh, who organizes Shooting Stars Hackathon, and Bailey Liu, who organizes LHacks and UHacks. Jeffrey John, who's organized UGA Hacks 6 and 7. Kanha Korgaonkar, who's organized Frey Hacks. Michelle Kim at NW Hacks. Patrick Riley at VT Hacks. Firungis Garbanli at HackKU. Jasmine Brown, who became the lead hackathon organizer of Warwick Hack, even though she never once attended a hackathon before, but she knew she wanted to create this opportunity for her community. And many of our leaders in the MLH Top 50 do more than just leading hackathons, because hackathons are absolutely incredible, but they're only for a single weekend. Now, we have people who lead hacker clubs that allow their communities to connect throughout the year, like Akshay Akula, who leads blockchain at Virginia Tech, and Anaya Norman, who just graduated from the University of Minnesota and led the ACMW Girls Code Club there. Elizabeth Q ran Hack Club, Code Day, and Girls Who Code. And Jay Patel founded Hack Club SVIT. Jorge Sanchez founded Club Algorithmia GDA, which already helped 40 of its members earn internships at top tech companies. I thought his story was so impressive and exciting that I wanted to share a little bit more of that with you as well through this video.
The MLH fellowship just like rocket my career. Just having the name of MLH powered by Meta on the resume is awesome. Hi, I'm Jorge Sanchez, and I was part of 2 MLH fellowship badges. My first introduction to like the technology world was when my dad gave me my first Xbox. I was just like amazed by the graphics on the screen. One of my like formal introductions to computer science was also a certification on game development when I was 15 or 16 years old, and then is when I decided to enter to computer science on the university. My first hackathon was 2 months into college. I didn't know anything about programming. It's stressful, but in a nice way, and at the end we were able to deliver a project. I arrived there knowing nothing, and I came back with friends and a little knowledge. It was amazing. I came back from the hackathon and I was like, I need more technical experience to be able to build things better. I met that friend. We founded like this algorithmic programming club on my campus. At first, we were only like 7 people, and currently we are, I think that 310 people. So it escalated very quickly. Having people of that also share your same interest, it will help me to basically to learn more. I applied to MLH fellowship 2 times on different years, and both of them I arrived to the later stages, but I didn't get in. So I applied a third one, and I was finally able to make it. It was like a reborn to me on coding because I learned a lot of new like high-end technologies. The Meta mentors were awesome. They teach us a lot of things that you normally don't find on tutorials. The skills that you learn on the fellowship, I'm applying that on the current job. A lot of technologies that we use in this company are the ones that MLH teach me. It really come in handy.
I love that story. Now, there are a number of other stories that I absolutely love as well. We've had a number of hackers go on to create nonprofits that help build their communities and the tech community at large. Gabby Benang founded Hello World, emphasis mine, which aims to find the intersection between technology and social change through multimedia content, coding, projects, and events. Gitanjali Purohit founded Command Tech, which provides mentorship to young women across the globe. And Juan Alamanza, at age 14, created a SOFI, the Women's Association of Innovation for Rural Development. These hackers have built so much to help their community and organizations to make that happen. We've also had hackers participate in the MLH Fellowship, our 12-week internship alternative where people contribute to real-world software. Nishta Goyal participated in the fellowship and later landed an internship at Google. Gideon Teshome is a fellow who says his experience in the hacker community left him feeling prepared, confident, and ready. Ivana Gomez Quiros just started as a fellow, and Christos Biseas got a job with G Research after his fellowship. You heard a little bit of his story in Swift's keynote, but there's even more.
When I started just creating something that you could use in a real life scenario, like a website or an app for your phone, that kind of stuff really got me excited. Hello, my name is Christos. I live in Piraeus in Greece. I went to University of Peloponnese. My department was informatics and telecommunication. I was the kind of mathematics and physics guy. So that's why I chose this department, because telecommunication is mostly physics and mathematics. For the first 3 years through university, I kind of didn't want to pursue this path. But with a lot of practice and a lot of studying and a lot of programming, everything started to make sense, and I was able to just see things happen. I wanted to get a software engineering job, and I have been going through a bunch of interviews. At some point, I discovered the MLH fellowship. I really got excited with the fellowship and their website and all the stuff they were talking. And I was like, I can get to work on a real project. I got accepted to MLH fellowship and I got to work with G Research on Apache Ozone. I learned about what are the best practices when working to such a huge project, what you have to do in order to make the process easier for reviewers. It seemed like G Research wanted to keep me, but I didn't know. So I went ahead and had a few interviews and I got an offer. And I was about to leave the fellowship. I told my pod leader and they told G Research, and that's where they made me an offer to stay there. They're giving me much more responsibilities. They're giving me all the motivation to learn new things. Right now, I'm doing open source. I don't know if I will end up doing backend or do something else in the future, but I just want to keep learning and keep evolving and just gain as much experience as possible. It's technology. It changes every day.
Such a great
When I
story.
started just
We've also had a number of hackers here in the MLH Top 50 work to really increase diversity in technology. Nikhil Vaitala actually helped to make AWS's EC2 console more accessible for developers. And he has a story here that I'd love to share.
I started organizing when I got into college. At UNC, we have an annual hackathon called Hack NC, which is one of the largest hackathons in the state of North Carolina. And then there were hackathons that were rooted towards more underrepresented communities where I mentored, for example, one of the biggest ones being Pearl Hacks, which is also held at UNC as well. Hi, I'm Nikhil Vaitala. Right now, I'm an ML infrastructure engineer at a startup in the Bay Area. I was an MLH fellow for a 3-time MLH fellow. So the first of the 3 times, I worked alongside the DoD, Department of Defense. We were working specifically on a ranger rehabilitation program. So basically some sort of application that would help veterans kind of reintegrate back into society. And from there on, I started learning more and more about accessibility. And I dove into how digital accessibility impacts people with disabilities all across the world, and how oftentimes it's considered as an afterthought where it really shouldn't be. It should be something that's integrated from the very beginning. The second time, I was a production engineering fellow with Facebook Meta in the summer of 2021. And over there, learned a ton of DevOps skills. And then my final fellowship was as a GitHub extern. And so over there, I worked on the enterprise side. This was more of a kind of a standalone software engineering project, kind of similar to an internship. And since then, I have been involved with accessibility efforts as much as I can across each of the organizations I've been with, whether those are organizations specifically working in social good or organizations that you may not necessarily think have a large impact on people with disabilities, but when you really dive deep into who the users are and who the developers are behind those platforms, accessibility work is really, really important to ensuring equity in that space.
We also have hackers like Governor Simpson, who is an organizer for Black Wings, an organization at the University of Minnesota that supports Black women studying technology. You heard some of her story from Swift in his keynote earlier this week at a NIT, but there's so much more, and I'm going to let her tell it to you.
No matter what background you are, whether or not, like in my case, you're not a computer science major or you're from an underserved community, the hacker community always has a place for you, and there's always ways to continue getting better. My name is Governor Simpson, and my focus in computer science is software engineering and product management. My path to break into computer science was pretty unorthodox. I thought I was going to be a vocal performance major, but I fell into computer science and I fell in love with it. I ended up getting rejected from the computer science major when I applied, but I had support from my community and from my friends that really pushed me to continue down this path, even though I wasn't in the major. I had heard from one of my courses that a hackathon at my school was taking place. It was called Mini Hack, which is the University of Minnesota's official hackathon hosted by ACM. They were able to help me find a team. It was an all-women's team, which is also like incredible. Overall, it was a fantastic experience. Ever since that first hackathon, I continued to stay involved. And eventually, I kind of made that transition from, okay, I'm competing in hackathons, and I slowly started to become an organizer. That came through with a group that I had joined called Black Wings, which is part of an organization called Revetting the Code, which is a nonprofit catered to women in technology and really building that international community. Me and 4 other women we ran a hackathon called Black Wings Hacks, which is really to promote diversity and help improve competency and skill level for women, particularly Black women, but also women across the board, to really try to create a place of support and warmth for each other. That's how I found there's so many different ways to be involved other than software engineering, and I found a lot of support there. They really helped equipped me with the tools that I needed to be successful and take me down the path I am now. I just recently graduated and now I have a job in software engineering lined up. And I want my story to serve as a testimony to be like, hey, it doesn't matter what your major is. It doesn't matter if you're struggling. You can get there. It may take certain roadblocks that you have to overcome like I did. It may not be as linear as maybe some other people's paths, but that's okay. Because as long as you get to where you want to go, that's really all that matters. No matter what.
We also have hackers like Ayushi Sungoy, who's a Code with Klossy facilitator helping young women get more involved in technology. And Ferris Ashai, who helped organize Trident Hacks, which brings high school students from low-income communities to a hackathon to help them code. And Fiona Whittington, who helped build Tech Together, which gave many of the hackers on this list their start. And she's now, I'm proud to say, my coworker and works for MLH, like many of the other hackers on this list. We love working with hackers and work really hard to find ways to get you to come and get paid for the work you do in the community. Like Galaxia Wu, an MLH coach who represents us at events, or Mansi Sani, who does the same as an MLH coach. Sasha Kakar organizes every hosted by MLH hackathon every single weekend. And Omar Ali is a pod leader helping fellows become full-fledged software engineers over the course of their 12-week fellowships. Ali Dugaz is a senior admissions specialist who helps us find from thousands and tens of thousands of applications the right hackers to become part of the fellowship. And Arslan Katik, who is a full-time MLH team member as of just a couple weeks ago and serves as our fellowship coordinator. That's just a small sampling of who the MLH Top 50 is. There are so many incredible people in this list who you have heard just the smallest bits of their stories. I was so happy that I had this opportunity to share some portion of that with you. If you're interested in becoming an MLH Top 50 recipient next year, it's not the easiest thing to do, but you can absolutely make it happen. All you need to do is contribute to this community. Go to a lot of events or host your own. As you're doing it, help us live our values. Help make the hacker community a more inclusive and welcoming place. Bring people into it and make incredible things as you do it. You too can become an MLH Top 50 recipient. We are accepting nominations now and throughout the year. And after receiving those nominations and doing our own outreach, we make the selections every year at a NIT. So thank you so much. I want to give a giant congratulations to this year's MLH Top 50. And please take a look at their profiles. There's so much more to their stories. Top.mlh.io for more. Happy hacking, everybody.